want to take to do that. Preston, on the other hand, has a similar yet unrelated topic related to toilets.
Now, we're not bashing appraisers or flushing them. We were seeing how many toilet jokes we could come up with.
We have, I think, flushed out every possible toilet joke that there is at this point. George is shaking his head. Okay. So again, 704-570-1110. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got input or a question and you'd like to chime in, feel free to give Preston and I a call. All right. So I guess let's lay the foundation. Let's talk about the running toilet.
Tell your toilet to slow down.
That's right.
It's funny, like when you go to sleep at night, Paul, and the house is all quiet, you hear the things that you don't normally hear during the day.
Yes.
And if part of what you hear is water running and the sink's not on, and then you hear it, and then it stops, and then you hear it, it's probably a running toilet. And it's continuing to run, and that's going to cost you some money over time because it's just pumping, the supply line's just pumping water in there. So if you have a continuously running toilet, it's usually one of two things, Paul. It's either the flapper is not, and I'm looking at you, I know you're coming up with a joke, everything I say. The flapper is not sealing, which is letting water just leak, and then it's constantly having to repump it in there. That's what it is most of the time. Mm-hmm. But it could be that the water is running back through the overflow valve. So if it's the flapper, you're going to have to replace the flapper. But if it's running through the fill valve, you're going to have to adjust the fill valve, which is just a little screw adjustment on there. And that's actually pretty easy to do. Both of them are actually pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, it seems so. And then a lot of times what I have noticed too, and, you know, if it's relatively normal during certain months to have a little bit of a small amount of condensation on the bottom side of the tank. And you know, but there's also, it's not normal to have a large puddle of water behind the back side of the tank.
That is correct. You're correct in the condensation, because the water coming out of the ground is going to be about 50-some degrees. So it fills up that water closet. So that's colder if the house, you know, it's going to draw humidity that when it hits that dew point. But you're correct. If you see water drip enough and it starts to see rust, mm-hmm. that's usually one of those bolts that's connecting the toilet, the water closet part to the toilet, mm-hmm. and there's a washer there, and that thing goes bad after a couple of years. It'll start to leak. The bolt will actually rust. So your telltale sign is it'll drip, and the bolt will rust. You'll see a rusty place there on the floor.
Yeah, you know, most of the time where I have seen the toilet as the culprit mm-hmm. for flood has been the supply line from the wall
yes.
to the tank itself.
Yes, my in-laws just had $20,000 worth of damage because it busted at night. It came loose, and it's a supply line where it's continuously supplying. So all night long, it flooded their floor. So they had to have the hardwoods replaced and the carpet and everything. Fortunately, they have insurance, but even that, they're having to sort of fight. And, yeah, it's a hassle.
Yeah, I mean, I've had all mine changed to the braided metal. And, you know, it's not even just the line, it's the washer that between the tank and that supply line, or from the supply spigot to the line itself.
Yeah, I would definitely check them. And, you know, if you are switching out toilets, switch to that braided metal. It's got a much longer life expectancy than the builder grade.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.